conversation with a young man, and he shared with me his frustration around one of his biggest issues that he feels in his marriage, and that is that he had to beg his wife for sex quite often. And he expressed how exhausting this is for him. And I've heard this and seen this so many times before, even as a passion consultant. I did that for several years and heard this same thing from many men. And usually the conclusion of this conversation typically sounds like this. She doesn't desire me. She's broken. She just doesn't care. Something must be wrong with her. But every time I hear this from any man, and even sometimes from women themselves sharing with me that they are having this issue, I pause for a minute and I ask a very different question, a question that I think most of us need to be answering when we encounter this type of situation. So let's think about this now. If sex was designed for pleasure, the clitoris alone has over 8,000 nerve endings. The clitoris, the only organ that we know of that was designed strictly for pleasure and is on a woman's body. Think about this. Then why would a woman who is married or in a serious relationship, who we would say maybe loves this person, she loves you, who enjoys pleasure, who is built for pleasure, not want to have sex with you? Make it make sense to me. And I've just come to the conclusion or to the realization that this situation or this issue is not a character flaw. That's information. So what are we going to do with that information? So today I want to talk about what this information is actually telling us. Let's just name this gently to start. Women don't usually simply just lose desire for sex. They lose desire for the conditions and the environment surrounding the sex. We have got to understand that desire does not live in isolation, especially for a woman. It lives within context. And when that context is unsafe, exhausting, which it is for most women, unseen, pressured, or disconnected, the body is going to respond to that. And is usually going to respond long before the mind explains it. Before we go any further, I would really like to ask a question. And this is for men and women. And I hope to see your responses in the comments of this video. But I want you to sit with this for a minute and really think about it. When desire disappeared in your relationship, what else was already missing? Here's what science tells us about female desire. And that is that female desire is responsive. It is not mechanical. The female desire or response system is different from the males, and we'll hopefully get into that. But the female desire, it's responsive. It responds to emotional safety. It responds to feeling seen. It responds to nervous system regulation, touch. And this touch is without any type of expectation. So this is something that we just do. It responds to rest, trust, novelty, which is new things. And that's similar for both men and women. And pleasure that isn't rushed. When a woman is overwhelmed, overworked, emotionally disconnected, and parenting her partner instead of being a partner with her partner, when she's carrying resentment or performing instead of receiving, these become breaks to our desire as a woman. Her body doesn't just say, let's have sex. Her body says, I need to protect myself. That's what her body is saying. That protection often looks like low desire when she's actually trying to protect herself from something. Not because she feels bad, but because everything leading up to the sex feels bad. Here's the part that we don't talk about enough. For many women, sex stops being about pleasure and starts feeling more and more like one more demand, one more thing that she has to do. It's another place that she has to perform, that she has to hurry, feel rushed, manages not only her emotions, but someone else's emotions. I'm gonna have to say this one too, where she has to fake interest and push past her own body. Desire cannot survive pressure. It cannot. The moment sex becomes something she owes instead of something she chooses, her body is going to check out. And I want us to understand that she's not doing this as a form of punishment, but as protection. Let me say this because our men need to hear this too. And if you've been following me, you know that I also have a very soft spot for our men as well. Sex is often how our men feel loved. It's how they feel wanted, chosen, and connected. And so when we're having this imbalance, they're being impacted drastically by this as well. So when sex disappears, it doesn't just hurt physically, it hurts emotionally both partners. Men feel unwanted, they feel rejected, which is very, very big for a man. They feel invisible. Invisible. Many of our men don't know how to translate that pain into language, so it comes out as frustration. Now, this isn't about us naming villains, pointing fingers. It's about two totally different nervous systems speaking different languages and missing each other. That's the sad part about it. So the real question here isn't why doesn't she want to have sex? The real question is why does her body no longer feel safe receiving sex? Why does her body no longer feel safe receiving from you? Why does your body no longer feel safe receiving from your spouse, from your significant other? Why does your body no longer feel safe? Because when a woman feels emotionally held, respected, desired without pressure, partnered instead of managed, rested, when she feels seen, when she's in an emotionally safe environment, that desire does not have to be forced. It returns. Healing desire is not begging, it's not blaming, it's not shaming or demanding, it's not tracking the frequency. Oh, we have not had sex since Monday. Oh, it's been 2 weeks. Healing isn't about any of that when it comes to desire. I'm sure several of you have tried that and it did not work. She may have given in, or you as a woman, you may have given in, but you haven't healed that place or that space that's causing you to feel as if you have a low desire. Healing that low desire is about rebuilding safety and curiosity. Safety and curiosity. What do you need to feel safe again? It's about asking those questions. What makes me feel safe again? What makes you feel close? What is draining you? What is currently being a break or a barrier? Something is draining you, your environment, your surroundings, that context that we spoke about earlier. Something is off and is dysregulating your nervous system. What helps you to relax? What are you doing to help yourself relax? How is your spouse helping you to relax or helping you to partner, especially if you have young children in your home? What kind of touch feels good to you without any expectation? And your healing is also about you remembering. A woman who feels safe becomes very receptive. She wants to receive. You and I, we are designed to receive. So when we naturally feel safe, when the surrounding, when the context is right, we are ready to receive. A woman who feels pressured becomes guarded. As I have shared with you, I was also a woman who was a married woman. I've been divorced and I have experienced similar things, especially after childbirth, giving birth to a child. Certain things that we go through in life can change us and change our bodies and our minds. And that context is very, very important. Answering those questions, speaking and talking to your partner about those things can be very, very helpful. I want to end with this, and I really want to hear from you. So, for my women, what do you wish that men understood about your desire? And for men, what do you wish women knew about how sex connects to your heart? You don't have to agree with each other. Chances are we will not agree on this. You don't have to solve it in the comments. We don't have to have a battle. But an honest conversation is where I believe that healing starts. This channel is a safe space for real conversations about intimacy, identity, and becoming, without blame and certainly without shame. If you're open to understanding more deeply, subscribe and stay in the conversation. I'm really glad